Have you ever wondered where Boris Johnson's unique personality originates from? Let's take a chronological journey, starting with Boris Johnson's birth on a warm summer day, June 19, 1964, in New York City. Yes, you heard it right. The British political icon was born in the heart of the United States. This transatlantic beginning to his life was just the start of his global experiences. Johnson's early years were a blend of cultures and influences as he moved between the US and the UK, absorbing the nuances of both nations. His parents, Stanley Johnson and Charlotte Wall, both artists in their own right, undoubtedly contributed to shaping his charismatic and flamboyant persona. Young Boris was a keen learner. His academic journey started at the European School, Brussels West, where he was exposed to a multicultural environment, fostering his global perspective. From Brussels, he moved to the lush green countryside of Sussex, England, where he attended Ashdown House. His journey then took him to the prestigious Eton College, a breeding ground for future leaders. Here, Boris Johnson began to show signs of his political inclinations. He wasn't just a student, he was a leader in the making, participating actively in student government. From Eton, he moved to the hallowed halls of Oxford University. It was here, immersed in the intellectual fervour of Oxford, that Johnson's interest in politics truly took root. He served as the president of the Oxford Union, a platform that honed his debating skills and prepared him for the political arena. From his birth in New York to his education at Oxford, Boris Johnson's early years were a mix of global experiences that would set the stage for his future in politics. This early exposure to diverse cultures, coupled with his education at some of the world's best schools, laid the foundation for Johnson's unique political style, a mix of charisma, wit, and a knack for the theatrical that we have come to know today. Before he became a household name in politics, Boris Johnson was making waves in another field. In the bustling, competitive world of journalism, the young Boris Johnson began to carve out a name for himself. Fresh from Oxford, he plunged into the profession, starting as an apprentice at the Times. There, he acquired the skills and insights that would shape his journalistic career. However, it was his move to the Daily Telegraph that would catapult him into the spotlight. At the Daily Telegraph, Johnson served as the assistant editor, a role that allowed him to flex his writing muscles and unique narrative style. His columns were known for their wit and flamboyant use of language, which often made headlines. He was not just a journalist but a personality, and his articles were as much about entertainment as they were about information. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Johnson's journalistic career was not without controversy. His penchant for the provocative often landed him in hot water, with critics accusing him of playing fast and loose with facts. Yet, these controversies seemed to only increase his popularity, adding to his reputation as a maverick. The pinnacle of his journalistic journey came when he was appointed as the editor of The Spectator. Here, Johnson showcased his ability to lead, steering the publication through a period of growth and increased readership. However, his tenure was not without its share of controversies, which seemed to follow him like a shadow. In the world of journalism, Johnson was a force to be reckoned with, a figure both admired and criticized. His career was marked by moments of brilliance and controversy, a mix that made him a compelling figure in the public eye. Boris Johnson's journalistic career was marked by controversy and success, a pattern that would continue into his political career. Boris Johnson's entry into politics was as dynamic and controversial as the man himself. Transitioning from the world of journalism, Johnson took his first stride into politics with his election as Member of Parliament for Henley in 2001. This marked a significant shift from his previous roles, and it was clear from the outset that Johnson was not your typical politician. His unique style and charisma were a breath of fresh air to some, while others viewed them as a sign of a lack of seriousness. In 2008, Johnson took on a new challenge, becoming the Mayor of London. Over the course of his 2 terms, which extended till 2016, he introduced several key initiatives aimed at improving the city. These included the introduction of Boris Bikes, a public bicycle hire scheme, and the new Routemaster buses. However, his tenure wasn't without controversy. Critics often pointed to his handling of the London riots in 2011 and his support for the Garden Bridge project, which was later scrapped, as low points in his mayoral career. The Brexit campaign, however, marked a turning point in Johnson's political journey. As a prominent figure in the Leave campaign, Johnson played a significant role in shaping public opinion. His charismatic speeches and memorable soundbites captured the public's attention, and his influence was undoubtedly a key factor in the campaign's success. Yet, the campaign also brought its fair share of controversy. Accusations of misinformation and unfulfilled promises followed Johnson and the Leave campaign, casting a shadow over what was otherwise a significant political achievement. From MP to mayor, Boris Johnson's political journey was marked by both triumphs and challenges. His rise to prominence was not smooth, but it was undeniably impactful, setting the stage for the next chapter of his political career, his tenure as Prime Minister. But that is a story for another time. In 2019, Boris Johnson achieved the highest office in UK politics, but what has his tenure as Prime Minister been like? From the moment he stepped into the role of Prime Minister, Boris Johnson was met with a whirlwind of policy initiatives and controversies. One of his first tasks was to navigate the choppy waters of Brexit. His approach was undeniably aggressive, leading to the successful finalization of the Brexit deal in late 2020, a moment that marked the end of a long and contentious process. But Brexit was not the only challenge Johnson faced. The COVID-19 pandemic hit the world hard in early 2020, and the UK was no exception. Johnson's handling of the pandemic has been a subject of intense debate. Critics argue that his initial response was slow, resulting in a high number of cases and deaths. However, supporters point to the successful vaccine rollout and the gradual reopening of the UK's economy as evidence of his leadership. Controversy has also followed Johnson into Downing Street. From allegations of conflicts of interest to questions about his personal conduct, Johnson has faced his fair share of scrutiny, yet through it all, he has shown a remarkable ability to weather political storms. In terms of policy, Johnson has made significant strides in his green agenda, pledging to make the UK carbon neutral by 2050. He has also promised to level up the UK, addressing regional inequalities and investing in infrastructure and education. But perhaps what sets Johnson apart most is his unique style of leadership. He is known for his flamboyant personality and his ability to connect with people on a personal level. This has endeared him to many, but also made him a target for criticism. As Prime Minister, Boris Johnson has faced unprecedented challenges and has remained a polarizing figure in UK politics. His tenure is one marked by resilience and controversy, success and challenge, but through it all, Boris Johnson remains an enduring figure on the political landscape. Boris Johnson's life and career have been anything but ordinary. From his eclectic early life that shaped his unique personality to his dynamic career in journalism, he's always been a man of intrigue. His rise in politics, characterized by his distinctive style and audacious decisions, paved the way to his tenure as Prime Minister, which continues to shape the UK's political landscape. Whether you love him or loathe him, Boris Johnson's impact on UK politics is undeniable.